Welcome to What a Story. Story 1. I've been with my wife for over 7 years. 7 years of shared dreams, laughter, and the occasional argument over who left the dishes in the sink. But lately, things felt off. Every evening she'd come home from work, looking drained, always too tired for any intimacy or even a simple chat. Work's been hectic. She'd say, brushing off my temps to reconnect. You know how it is with the new project and my boss piling on the pressure. But something didn't add up. A gut feeling, an intuition, call it what you will. So I did a little digging. Turns out she'd been clocking out at least 30 minutes after her colleagues every single day. Now, I'm no Sherlock. But when your wife's overtime doesn't reflect on her paycheck and her exhaustion doesn't match her official work hours, questions start to form. Here I am, sharing this on Reddit. Not for pity, but to looking for help. I figure it out. How would you behave in my situation? I am thinking to go to talk with her boss, but I am scared to make a mess with her job. Update. After sharing my initial doubts and suspicions here, I took the bold step of confronting the very source of my unease. My wife's boss. I needed answers, and I felt that speaking to him directly might shed some light on the situation. I walked into the office, and after introducing myself, I asked for a few minutes of his time. He looked a bit taken aback, but agreed. In the privacy of his office, I laid out my concerns, trying to keep my emotions in check. After a moment of silence, he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Yes, we've been intimate after work." The weight of his confession hit me like a ton of bricks. But before I could react, he quickly added, "But it was mutual." She never resisted. I was so angry and shocked, I left his office and headed straight home to confront my wife. When I recounted the conversation with her boss, she became hysterical. Through her tears, she admitted to the liaisons, but insisted that she felt forced into it. She described how he would corner her, use his position of power over her, and how she felt trapped, fearing for her job and our livelihood. The revelation has left me reeling. I am deep concerned for her. We have a lot to work through, and trust needs to be rebuilt. But right now, my primary concern is supporting my wife and ensuring she's safe. Final update. It's been a whirlwind since my last update. Despite the pain and confusion, I needed clarity, and I was determined to get to the bottom of things. Fueled by anger and a desperate need for the truth, I found myself once again at my wife's workplace, standing outside her boss's office. I demanded answers, a clear and unambiguous account of what had transpired between him and my wife. He reiterated the same story he had told me before, but this time, sensing my skepticism, he offered something more concrete: security footage. I was hesitant, but I needed to see for myself. The footage was clear. It showed my wife and her boss on multiple occasions, their interactions unmistakably intimate and, contrary to her claims, entirely consensual. The realization hit me hard. The woman I had loved and trusted had not only betrayed me, but had also tried to paint herself as a victim. The pain of betrayal is one thing, but the added layer of deceit was too much to bear. I made the heart-wrenching decision to leave her. Trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to rebuild, especially when built on a foundation of lies. Thank you to everyone here for your support, advice, and understanding. Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions that story was. Can you imagine the weight of finding out such a truth? Question for you all. If you were in his shoes, would you have also gone to the boss, or would you have handled it differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's dive into the next story. Story 2. Karma got it back for me. My ex who cheated with my best friend is now destroyed. I just found out about this subreddit, so I finally have a place to tell the story that was the most terrible experience in my life, and just recently turned into a blessing and an infinite spring of joy whenever I think about it. The downfall. I used to date this girl from when I was 19 until I was 21, and we were getting very serious. One day, I found out someone had gifted her a rose. to which I thought nothing of. But she started having more of a private life, hiding her phone, telling me not to say I love her so frequently, going out almost every night with girls and asking me not to come to the same club or restaurant. Well, one night I decided to pass by the bar she was at and saw her with another dude. This is how I ended our relationship and never spoke to her again. This left a huge mark on me, and I was never able to love this hard another girl. Now, we fast forward 4 years from the breakup, which comes to about 2 years back from today's time. This is where my group of 5 childhood best friends come into play. We are all the same age and know each other since we were 7. One day, a friend of this group messages a MILF nail artist from town who is 19 years older than us and has a 15-year-old daughter. The MILF's name immediately rings a bell in my head, as I remember she is the same nail artist my ex-GF used to go to every month. To keep it short, nail artist and my ex-GF have become very good friends throughout the years. My friend has the MILF hanging out in our group behind my back, and one time I don't get invited to a party where the MILF's +1 is my ex-girlfriend. This is when I quit my friend's group and lost all my friends. I am left alone and betrayed by the same people I grew up with, and we even worked together on the same business. So anyway, with my departure of the group, another one of my best friends decides to date my ex. This is how their friends group gets tangled like pig intestines. The culmination, and we now come to present time. During all those years, my mother stays a very good friend with the mother of the friend who started dating the MILF. This is how I got all my info on what happened further in their little shit group throughout this time. Turns out my friend got married to the MILF 6 months ago. He is 27 and she is 46. Needless to say, his father and mother are destroyed by his choice of wife, and they say they are ashamed to meet friends and relatives over this whole situation. His father, very rich, decided to gift them an apartment where they can live with the MILF's now 17 years old daughter. The daughter turns out to be very unleashed, as she is having boyfriends over at their apartment very often. There was even a situation where my friend had to kick out a naked boy who was sleeping with his stepdaughter in his own bed. And this is where things get shockingly better. Remember my ex-GE, who dated another one of my best friends? Well, they just got separated 11 days ago. They guy is currently in custody awaiting trial for sleeping with the MILF's 17 years old daughter. I couldn't confirm the identity of the poor daughter since she is a minor, but I have gotten the initials. First, 2 letters of the first and family name of my friend, so it is confirmed. From a story that I have had nightmares from for years and years, this has turned out to be the most Karma Bites Back story I have had in my life. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments. That's the end of our episode for today. If you enjoyed these stories and want more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep sharing and keep listening.